Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Sohum bringing you another reaction video here today, and we are going to be reacting to another song by Ren. We are going to be reacting to Suicide. And it's come to my attention that I probably should have listened to this song first before reacting to For Joe. I guess there are some lines of Suicide that are in For Joe, so chronologically, Suicide came first, but I'm still excited to listen to the song nonetheless. Maybe I'll have a different perspective of the song because I listened to For Joe first. And For Joe was a really interesting song in my opinion. I loved just the beauty of the piano ballad style of the song mixed in with, typical Ren stylistic choices. We never know what to expect from this guy, and for this video, I have no idea all the same. So without further ado, let's get into the reaction. Is this like a AI art generated?
Falling through the cracks of the night sky, a light goes out on the other side. Suicide, suicide, suicide.
I had those shoes.
Treading on the tracks in the night time. It never really felt like the right time. Suicide, suicide, suicide. I'm so fucking lonely.
I really like this already. Man just knows how to write hooks, doesn't he? It's very, how can I describe it? It's very like chorusy. Like I feel like everybody in the theater, everybody in the stadium can sing this song along with him.
Falling through the cracks of
and listen to that, like, I don't know if it's a bass, but I think it's a guitar plucking underneath. That melody is really nice.
Treading on the tracks in the night time. It never really felt like the right time. Suicide, suicide, suicide. I'm so fucking lonely beneath this. Narcissistic, can't keep a secret.
So I often see this pig in the music videos. What specifically is it resembling? Is it the fact that like we have two sides of ourselves? One is a more human-esque, one is more of an animal? Because there is a song by Ren called Animal, so maybe there's the relation there, and I often see this imagery in his music videos, so I'm very curious about that.
Can't keep a secret, miscount sheep, but can't sleep a misfit. Some say trouble, but some say sadistic. Bruises my brother, one time or the other. My skin felt counterfeit, silicone rubber. Bruises my sister, skin pop the blister. Dig deep, resist the feeling when it hits you.
He's always got such good bars, doesn't he? Like, every single word that he includes in his music is very carefully chosen. Like, I don't feel like there are filler words. I don't feel like the words are just basic. Like, everything that you hear him say, it paints a vivid picture. Not to mention, like, the vividness of this music video.
Resist the feeling when it hits you. Falling through the cracks of the night sky. A light goes out on the other side. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Treading on the tracks in the night time. It never really felt like the right time. Suicide, suicide, suicide.
Oh, sick boy.
I'm so fucking washed.
I like that he does like meta reaction or meta incorporations of his previous music videos into his current song here, because I guess now that I'm thinking about it recursively, Suicide now takes place a little bit in For Joe. I don't think I've gotten to that part yet, so I'm curious to hear where that connection comes in. But man, I really am enjoying this so far. One thing I was going to mention too is the fact that this song has a very, dark is very dark in subject matter, and the beat it's interesting. It's not entirely melancholy. It has like a push forward, if that's a correct way to describe that. I feel like we are on a train moving somewhere and not the edge of a cliff or something. I feel like we're going to end up in a positive destination.
Suicide, suicide, suicide. Sick boy, bitten by a tech boy. I feel like it's not me, it's the world that's sick. I'm so fucking washed up and seasick. Masochistic kid with a split lip. 6 feet deep, I can't eat, I'm nervous. Won't stay down cause my body purges. Useless my mother, can't keep in my supper. Skin so pale cause my cheeks leak colour. Truth is my father, you choose your karma.
His cheeks leak color. Is that... I guess that could be a couple of things, but being pale as a sign of like anemia, as a sign of like not eating well, and he's also linking that with the fact that he's unable to keep his food down. Or maybe that could be drawing to his sickness and the fact that maybe being sick and taking medication and pills is preventing him from keeping his food down. I really like his rapping in this too, by the way. Also, there's a fly, so it may bug me during this reaction.
Stay down cause my body purges. Useless my mother, can't keep in my supper. Skin so pale cause my cheeks leak colour. Truth is my father, you choose your karma. Draw for the sword, then drive through the armor.
Wow, I just put that together. Truth is your sword, chew through the armor. Is that what he said?
Then drive through the armor.
Drive through the armor. So our armor is our protective shield that prevents us from seeing reality for what it is, but truth being a sword cuts through all of that noise. And if we allow truth to exist and permeate through our bodies and through our behavior and through our belief system, we don't need armor. We can just exist carefree. They're very, very... God, he just drops these bangers, right?
Falling through the cracks of the night sky. A light goes out on the other side. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Treading on the tracks in the night time. It never really felt like the right time. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Suicide, suicide, suicide. Suicide, suicide, suicide.
I'm going to pause before Ren does this thing and changes it up on us. I'm really liking the different faces that he's got. I feel like each face resembles a different personality. I'm also imagining how the AI is generating this, and it's probably just feeding him through a bunch of different processors and comparing him to different... I mean, I saw him like as a robot figure, and then he's like a kind of a zombie and a vampire looking thing, and then goes into like a half cyborg situation. Very unique choice. I'm wondering if they like actually took footage of Ren walking through the city street here and then redid the visuals, or if they just did the visuals completely from scratch using like AI or something, because that is a trend these days.
Suicide, suicide, suicide. It's hard to take off from the ground when your wings are cut. Your stomach burns when you're drinking from an empty cup. You know the entire ocean came from my tear ducts. I see the world through Fibonacci sequences and double Dutch. I guess there's some that's born lucky, there's some that's not. I tried to cut away my bitterness.
Hatchet job.
I locked my youth inside a trunk, inside a pickup truck, then dumped the whole thing over that same bridge the night you jumped. I think about that sometimes, vividly. What it felt like to look down and see tranquility. One sudden movement in a world of possibility. Only one movement to expose our fragility. I fucking miss you, and I miss myself. I miss thinking we were indestructible as well. I miss chilling by the pier cave and kicking back with Callum, Hugo, Sega, Justin, Stevie, and the fucking lads.
I think it's very, very cool that he just took this. I mean, I don't know if the rest of it is going to be the same section as in 4Joe, but I'm really impressed by all of the stylistic choices that he makes, not only with his individual songs, but how he decides to tie those songs together. And it's not that he's dropping an album, he's releasing songs seemingly sequentially, but he's not just giving us one experience in isolation that is fleeting, that is ephemeral. He's giving us, he's drip feeding us this experience of life. And I think that works well for a number of reasons. My marketing brain says like, okay, he's linking the songs together, therefore like you're inclined to, now that I know this song has a link back to 4Joe, now I'm going to go back to 4Joe again. But also the messaging of the song means something entirely different when you now piece the first half of the section of the song with the second half, and now you make a new song with the second half being the first half. Hopefully my ADHD brain makes sense to you when I say all of those things, but I'm also really interested in the stylistic choice of the this like kind of white palish background with his face, because we were in a very dreary kind of grayed out, blued out, blacked out city, and now we've kind of gone to the solo shot here of Ren just headbanging along. So I'm wondering why. I'll come up with a reason in a bit, but this very, very interesting stylistically. Also, this this mic is fucked up. It's coming out of his jaw.
Agility. I fucking miss you, and I miss myself. I miss thinking we were indestructible as well. I miss chilling by the pier cave and kicking back with Callum, Hugo, Sega, Justin, Stevie, and the fucking lads. I miss missing that. I numb myself to close the gap. I never even call them up. The distance is my plaster cast. The truth is that the day you jumped, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find that anger. All I find is missing you.
I need to go back to that line because I think there's a lot there. The distance is my plaster cast.
I numb myself to close the gap. I never even call them up. The distance is my plaster.
The distance is my plaster cast. He never called them up, so distance makes it difficult to communicate and have consistent dialogue with friends, family, and plasters. What does a plaster cast do? It prevents you from being able to touch and see your own body. So if I'm considering my friends and family to be part of who I am, distance is the factor that prevents me from being able to communicate with them and see them. And maybe that's not necessarily true because we can reach out and call them via phone, text them, and see how they're doing on social media, but that's an entirely different experience than being connected, being one with them. And sometimes distance is a catalyst for that disillusion with friendships, with relationships, and I hate long distance, man.
The cast, the truth is that the day you jumped, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find that anger. All I find is missing you, man. I miss you. With all my rhymes, I picture running 5 minutes quicker, I'm right on time. I picture pulling you back over the edge and then we're crying and holding you, my brother, and telling you that it's fine. Not the way that it worked, cause I was late like a jerk. There's not a day where I could find a way to break from the hurt. Your body missing, so we never got to wave to the hearse. I hope you're listening, I love you, man, I miss you absurd. Fuck.
Goosebumps all over. Can you see this? Probably not. I can listen to that piano ballad section over and over and over and over again. I'm just, oh God. I'm really impressed by a number of things in this song. Visually, I'm taken aback. I think it's very, very captivating, and it's interesting the style of the images that they used. It feels seemingly painted on, but we're using AI to generate the images. So I'm curious if that's just like hopping on the trend of AI music videos, or if that's if there's a deeper meaning there. I think lyrically, again, Ren always finds ways to capture our imagination and paint the picture ever so vividly using simple language. He's not really destroying or bending the wheel. He's got a way with his words. He is, and I heard this written in the comment section of many other reactions and of his own music videos, is that he is a modern day bard. He can tell stories. He can make you feel what he feels. He can put you right there. And I feel that when he's singing and I can hear him breaking down and starting to well up and cry. I feel that pang of pain that he, I can't even imagine the level of pain that he experienced with this and continues to experience when it comes to the loss of his friend. Yeah, thank you so much for this recommendation. This would have just slipped through my cracks because I thought I'd listened to most of his discography, but that's why you guys are there. So thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure to release more reactions of Ren in the future, so stay tuned for those. And if you have other reactions that you'd like me to do as well, I'm more than happy to oblige. So anyways, take care and peace, everybody.